Hi, this is Barbara Langston, Certified Zentangle Teacher, and this is day 10 of the Inktober Tangles, and today's pattern is Cadent by Zentangle. This is one of the original Zentangle patterns, and it's got a lot of possibilities. There is a site from Margaret Bremner, CZT, called Enthusiastic Artist. And in her blog, she has a page called Cadent and Then Some. And so I went to her site and checked out some of her ideas, and I will put a link to that in the description. And I would suggest that you go there and check some of those out because she has some just fantastic ideas. But I'm going to show you the basic way to do cadent, and then you can see some of the other ways that she suggests. So the basic way to do cadent is you're going to put these little orbs, and I'm just going to do some small sections so it doesn't take a lot of time, and you can see some of the ideas that are there. So this is a grid pattern. You can do this in a square grid, in a triangle type grid, or you could even do what they call crazy cadent, and I'll get to that. Okay, so we have our little grid pattern here, and I'm going to do what Rick and Maria call take off and land. So I'm going to start, and we're always going to do an S shape, kind of like this, okay? And if you always think of it as an S going around these little orbs, then your pattern's going to look right. So there's your little S, okay? So I'm going to start on this circle, come around, take off, and land on the orb down here. And then we just go back around it a little bit, and it helps to redefine your orbs. Start again, take off, and land, and come around. Okay, so I'm going to do that on each of these. Take off and land. Take off, land on the one below, and I'm doing that S type curve each time. Now I'm going to turn my tile, and I'm going to repeat that. We're not ever going to do like a number 2 because that would be going over this line. I'm going to take off, do that little S shape, and come back around. Repeat that for each of these, and then we're going to have a cool little pattern that shows up. Okay, so there you go. That is the basic cadent pattern. I apologize that my internet died on me, and it's been in and out all day. So I got to a certain point in that first part of the video and had to stop. Basically, the next step that I did was to show you that you can fill in those little circles in black, and that gives you another look. I'm going to start showing you some of the things that Margaret Bremner did in her Cadent and Then Some. So again, we're going to start with our orbs, and I'm going to try to go a little bit quickly, hoping that my internet stays in place. Again, I'm just going to do my little takeoff and land on each one of these. Now I don't have the good sunshine coming through my window, so there's going to be some shadows. Turn my tile, come the other way. Oops. Again, I'm going a little bit faster than I usually would. Hoping that I can show you what I want. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do what's called an anchored aura. So I'm coming from where this starts and then come out a little bit and come back in. And that's called an anchored aura. Do this on one side for each of these. Turn my tile. Always turning your tile to keep your hand resting in the most comfortable position for you. This one I think I'm going to put on the inside. Okay? So now that is a single aura on that. And rather than draw another one again, I'm going to show you that you could put another aura on here. Okay. And you see if we're coming around to take off and land, how it makes this a little bit more bold. And I missed one here, and missed one here. So there's how it looks with a double aura. You could do the same basic with a larger orb. You would probably have them a little bit further apart. And bring your take off and land. Take off and land. The nice thing about having these larger orbs, especially if you're on a colored tile, like a gray tile or a Renaissance tan tile, then you could fill these orbs with a different color from a white jelly roll, a gold jelly roll, or any color you like. So that's how it looks with a little bit bigger orb. Another thing that she does is, and I'm going to show that in here, is we're going to add an aura inside. Okay, so we're just going to follow the basic pattern. So now we've added an inner aura, and then you could even do that one more time. You can also use Cadent as a reticula and fill it with fragments. A reticula is simply different shapes or grids that we use to put either fragments, which there's lots of information on fragments. The Zentangle primer has a lot of really cool fragments in it that you can use to put in something like this. Okay, the next thing I want to show you is that you could put your orbs and again, I will put a link to Margaret Bremner's blog. She does her articles called And Then Some for several different patterns, and I would encourage you to go to her site and look around. When I searched for this, I just searched for Cadent and Then Some, but I'll put it in the description. Okay, so just start with your basic cadent. And now I'm going to add several auras. Oops, sorry about that. I'm a little anxious because I'm afraid my internet's going to die on me again. It's very frustrating when you're doing a video and all of a sudden you realize you've been talking for a while and the internet was gone and have to start over. Okay, so I'm going to put another aura inside each of these. And sometimes it just looks a little bit better to go on the outside. Just do what you think is going to look best. Preferably going a little bit slower than I am. I'm going to put this one on the outside. Okay. So now this looks pretty much like this one, but I'm going to add one more all the way around. And then what I'm going to do, and I'll go ahead and show you here, is I am going to fill in that center. Okay, so I'm going to come around, and then I'm going to fill in the center. You could even leave a little highlight there in the center. Or go back with a little jelly roll or your white chalk pencil and add a little highlight there. You can do cadent in any size. If you do it big, you can put other patterns inside of it. Okay, so now I'm going to turn and add fourth line. And then fill in between the two center ones here. So there are 4 basic ideas for what you could do for Cadent. And I'll show you what it would look like just quickly if I added a center highlight. Very simply. Okay, so now I'm just going to add one aura inside. Let's do this inside. And then I'm going to just add some little hatching. And when you do this, your little lines in between don't have to meet perfectly. If you can see what I mean here, these don't have to be perfect. It looks better. It looks like a true highlight if you just do some quick lines and leave what looks kind of like a raw edge, I guess, between these. So far, so good on my internet. Okay, so this is another way that you could do it. And then I'm going to show you how you could do a cadent in a triangle. And this is also kind of a version of crazy cadent. Rick and Maria do tutorials called kitchen table tangles. And she has one where she does this and she puts the little aura inside. And then, so this is cadent in a triangle. And then she puts Knightsbridge, which is just little squares inside each one of these, which gives you a totally different look. Always remember to turn your tile. Keep your hand comfortable. Oops, that was a little bit close. Okay, so those auras have cadent. You could come out here, put another orb, bring it around, bring it around, add my auras, and depending on what kind of space you need, you can do that aura on the inside or the outside. If you look at her kitchen table tangle, and I will put that in the description, and she she does this on a Renaissance tile, which is the tan tile, and then she puts inside of that a brown triangle. So this ends up being really interesting. I'll give you an idea how she does that. Then she takes, this is a brown 01. Okay, so then I'm going to just come inside of this and add an inner aura. Okay, so this is just a regular aura where this started here and came down, and these both ended at the same time. That's the difference between just a regular aura and an anchored aura. These auras are anchored, these are not. Okay, go around with that. So this. And each of these are a little bit different shape, and that's okay. That's part of having what they call crazy cadent. So that ends up looking very interesting. So this is basically how it looked when I was practicing with it last night. And I should have made it a little bit bigger, but that's my note. So KTT is Kitchen Table Tangle, Crazy Cadent by Maria. And then she put Knightsbridge into these sections. And if you look at hers, it's beautiful. Maria's work is always beautiful. And then another way that you could do the triangle I didn't realize I was still using the brown, but that's okay. Come around. Here, take off the land. Come around. Take off the land. And come around. And put a little dot. And also with these triangular, because there are so many triangular reticula in the Zentangle primer, you could fill these with different fragments, the triangular fragments. I just love working with fragments. I would encourage you to try that. So there's another way to do that. And then take your graphite and just add a little graphite in that one corner, or that one section of the triangle. Okay. And you could even further color in one whole section. Put a little dot in your orbs. There's so many ways that you could do this. Now I'll show you how you could highlight or shade this one. We're just going to shade two sides. And when I'm doing something like this, and I'm trying to find some new ideas, I just say, well, what if I did this, or what if I did that? Just try it. See what you come up with. You might decide that you would prefer to have shading on just one side. With this one, don't forget that you can use your graphite pencil as if it's giving you a new color. You can also just fill in a space with it, which we did over here in this one. Put a little bit here. Okay. See, there's just so many ways that you can change your patterns with just a little bit of change. Just what if you do this? What if you do that? I could go back in with what's left on my tortillon and add a little bit of shading inside of this. Borrow a little bit from what's here. So there you go. That's just the beginning of what you can do with Cadent. Check out Kitchen Table Tangle number 28 and check out Margaret Bremner's page Cadent and then some, and have fun with it. There's a lot you can do with this pattern. Thanks again for watching my video. I do appreciate it. Have fun with this and all of the Inktober tangles. I'll see you next time. Bye.